God bless you, everybody. Good morning. A spiritual battle. Our devotional text comes out of the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. And the word of the Lord says, we aren't fighting against human enemies, but against rulers, authorities, forces of cosmic darkness, and spiritual powers of evil in the heavens. That was the Common English Bible. The King James Version says it like this. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. My. The Message Bible says, So take everything the Master has set out for you, well-made weapons of best materials, and put them to use so you will be able to stand up to everything the devil throws your way. This is no weekend war that we'll walk away from and forget about in a couple of hours. This is for keeps a life or death fight to the finish against the devil and all his angels. The New Living Translation says, the word of the Lord tells us, for we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against the evil spirits in the heavenly places. And the New Revised Standard Version says, and the word of the Lord tells us, for our struggle is not against enemies of blood and flesh, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of darkness. Let me read this to you again. For our struggle is not against enemies of blood and flesh, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. And I want to encourage somebody on this morning that you cannot win a spiritual battle with a physical weapon. For spiritual battles, we are to use spiritual weapons and not physical weapons. Come on, somebody. For a book about conquerors, the book of Joshua sure skips on military details because we have to get prepared for war and we have to declare war. Come on, somebody. We got to declare war against the enemy. Come on. Everything that the devil stole, God is going to give it back to you. What weapon? The questions that I have for you is that what weapons? When you look at the book of Ephesians and you see here that the author is encouraging us, Paul is encouraging us during this time that we are not fighting against blood and flesh, but we're fighting against the enemy. We're fighting against the evil spirits. We're fighting against everything that is trying to destroy what God has put in place. Come on, somebody. When we look at this, is that Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But Jesus said that Jesus comes so that we can have life and have it more abundantly. We cannot be afraid to slay a demon if a demon tries to come our way and take us out. Canaan was the choicest real estate on earth. It was marked by fertile fields and valleys. Most important, the land was God's gift to Israel. God set this property apart for his people and his people apart to be a blessing for the world. God promised Abraham, I will make you a great nation. And we know that Abraham became the father of many nations. The Hebrews were couriers of God's covenant to a galaxy of people. Israel, which God's chosen, was the parchment on which God's redemption story should be written. And we know that Satan wants to destroy God's people, want to destroy God's work. And we see here that Paul, and especially, he's given us direction on what to put on when being in a spiritual battle. And Paul says, for we wrestle not against flesh or blood, but we are wrestling and we're fighting against the enemy that would try to snatch up and take away things that belongs to God, people. The devil is a liar. Our battle is spiritual. But the only way that we're going to win is if we have God.